Alright, so we're picking up right where we left off and getting to our destination. We
over
have
here.
voice beckons us over. Samuel Adams, born 1722. Samuel Adams was a Boston lawyer, a signatory of the Declaration of Independence, and a prominent political figure during the lead up to the American Revolution. I think that's put your little life into perspective, hasn't it? Adams was born in Massachusetts, the son of another Samuel Adams, who was a well-off merchant. Adams, the younger one, went to Harvard, graduating in 1740. He went into business for himself, but was a dismal failure and ended up taking a job in the family brewery. A lot of men turn to breweries when their businesses fail, but in rather a different way. And that was fortunate for his historical legacy, since his relationship to beer may be the only reason most Americans have ever heard of him. Adams was elected to the Massachusetts legislature in 1765, which was at the beginning of his political career. He was a staunch supporter of colonists' rights, mainly the ever-popular arguments over whether British Parliament had a right to impose taxes, but wasn't pro-independence, at least not at first. I think it's fair to say he changed his mind later. Adams is often portrayed as an angry radical, but that's a bit of a biased picture. Adams disliked vigilantism, for the most part, though he approved when a mob forced Boston's stamp collectors to resign, so perhaps he only disliked some vigilantism. In later years, when Adams was in Congress, he refused ever to join a political party because he found the idea divisive, a sentiment which he shared with George Washington incidentally. However, Adams' reputation for being a rabble-rouser is somewhat understandable. He was a representative for the town of Boston after the Boston Massacre and succeeded in having the regulars kicked out of town. He spoke at the Old South Meeting Hall just prior to the Boston Tea Party, and it's said he gave the signal for dumping of the tea, though there's some debate over whether he was involved, which I'm happy about, as a gentleman does not waste tea. Adams was infamous enough that he had to leave Boston for Lexington in 1775 to avoid arrest by the British, who considered him a troublemaker. When the siege of Boston began, the Massachusetts governor offered to pardon any rebels who would lay down their arms, except Adams and John Hancock. Overall, Adams certainly was a thorn in the side of the British, though what puzzles me is why some Americans think being an angry revolutionary was a bad thing. It got you where you are today, didn't it? Actually, hang about. Yes, maybe I see their point after all.
You're Achilles' boy. Connor, was it? I saw what happened at the townhouse. A fine mess, that.
Who are you?
Samuel Adams, at your service. Achilles asked me to get you out of Boston.
Explain.
The whole city's looking for you.
Oh yay, oh yay! A criminal stalks the streets, wanted in connection with the massacre at the townhouse. Citizens are advised to call the guards if they see him. £10 to whoever brings this madman
What am I
to
supposed to do?
justice.
You can take down these posters for a start. Return to me once you remove the others. We can't be seen together until these posters are gone.
Okay, so they're blaming us for shooting a gun that incited the riot. However, I think it's a bad idea to go straight in front of the guy who's posting that picture. Bring the suspect there. You know. I mean, look at us. This guy knows what we look like. And we gotta run away from the British here. Get away from me, you lobster back. You red coat. You heathen. Oh my gosh, they're firing first and asking questions later. Anyways, we can do as he wants and tear down some of these posters real quick and get back to him.
Ah, Connor. There you are. I'd like you to meet Cyrus.
Is he the killer?
Tease. Cyrus is on our side, or rather, for the right price, he will be.
Have you seen this man?
Watch and learn.
Oh yay! Oh yay! Word has reached us that the man responsible for today's shooting may have been in disguise. A wig and makeup tin were found near the scene of the crime. Witnesses describe a middle-aged gentleman of pale complexion fleeing towards the wharves, rifle in arm.
Thank you kindly, Cyrus.
Pleasure.
Come on, then. There's still one last bit of work to do.
Where are we going?
To the printer. Where do you think all those posters came from? They're made by a machine. We need to shut it down.
Okay, well, I'm ready if you are. You coming? Guess not. Jaegers. Hessians were German soldiers who were hired by the British to fight in the Revolutionary War. While Hessians technically referred to soldiers who were from the state of Hessen-Kassel, it came to be a blanket term for all of the German mercenaries who fought in the Revolution. The imprecision is easy to understand, of course. When a troop of German soldiers lines up and starts firing at you in a war, only the most misguided of geography nerds would stop to ask where they're from. So, me, then. Among the Hessian troops who were sent to fight in the American Revolution were at least 2 units referred to as Jaegers. These were light infantry troops known for being accurate marksmen. Accurate marksmen are very much the best sort of marksman. The word Jaeger also happens to be German for hunter, and early members of the Jaeger troops were mainly comprised of experienced foresters. Again, really accurate gunmen who are good at fighting in the woods is exactly the kind of soldier you'd want in a war in the American frontier. Unsurprisingly, this made Jaegers the most feared and respected division of the Hessians. Alright, let's head over to this printing press. Hopefully Sam Adams follows us.
Damn it, we're too late. They've set up a checkpoint. Come on. This way.
I can go by rooftop and meet you there.
No. Better you learn about the tunnels now.
Tunnels?
The Masons have a whole network of them under the city. They're quite useful when speed and secrecy are required.
Well, looks like we're going to go to one of these tunnel entrances to circumvent the guards.
Here we are, then. I'll see you inside. Use your lantern to light the lamps, Connor. They'll help us find our way should we get turned around.
I wonder why they built these tunnels.
I don't know, Connor. But we're going to make our way through these tunnels. And we're going to do it quick.
Well, well. You were right. I apologize for ever doubting. No wonder Achilles has taken such an interest in you. Arse. I don't suppose lockpicking is part of your repertoire? Well done. The printer isn't far. Let us reconvene there.
You ask a great deal of me, Sam.
I know, but I wouldn't be here if it wasn't important, if it wasn't vital.
Fine. Just this once, though. In the future, such things will come at a price. Resetting the type is neither quick nor easy. To say nothing of the cost should I be discovered.
I shall not forget this kindness.
Nor I.
His work will see your last little bit of notoriety erased. Come, I'll show you how to leave now that order's been restored. So, now you've had a chance to see how it all works. Untoward actions will upset the citizens and inevitably lead to the guards being called. Depending on the severity of your transgression, they may simply search a bit before giving up and returning to their post. But should you offend them severely or repeatedly, they'll become much more aggressive in their pursuits. I've shown you 3 ways to turn the tide. Remove wanted posters, bribe town criers, or visit a printer to create your own propaganda.
This feels wrong. Why not just speak to someone and explain my innocence?
You can't be serious.
We counter one lie with another. Words on paper instantly taken as truth. And all of it without question.
They loose this beast. Or have you forgotten? I merely helped you tame and turn it round.
There must be another way. Something more honest.
Well, when you find it, do let me know. But until then, we sculpt with the clay we have.
My apologies. I do not mean to sound ungrateful.
Quite all right. I was much the same at your age. You'll grow out of it.
And if I do not? If I...
Here we are. Speak with the harbor master and he'll see you home.
Thank you for everything, Sam. I promise one day to repay the favor.
Oh, I'm counting on it.
Like this.
The handshake is a nice start. And yeah, the printing press and office, that kind of stuff, that's new, so that's it's pretty cool. But now we can head home. Let's talk to the harbor master. It seems that we are presented with a couple of routes. It doesn't seem we can take any of them. There we go. Perfect. Alright. And left control for fast travel. Yes, we do. Would they shoot us out of a cannon or something? How'd we get here? Okay, there's our objective just up and around the bend here. Let's go to it.
Welcome back.
You left me in Boston.
The training we've done here is all well and good, but experience is a better teacher by far.
What of my father?
Into the wind, I'm afraid.
We have to find him.
And we will, after the house has been repaired.
But he's out there plotting who knows what.
And what would you do when you found him? If you found him? You're a boy with a few months of training. He's a man full grown who spent decades honing his skills. If you're going to stand a chance against the Templars, you're going to need these. Go on before I change my mind.
It looks like the marker is inside. That's not confusing at all.
You, sir, please! Help! He's going to die!
Who?
There's no time! Please come!
I hope this isn't an ambush. Wasn't this one of the Irish fellows that we spoke to a long time ago and it was still summer? I mean, he sounds worried, I guess, so... Let's see what he's got going on.
Down there! He's just passed under the bridge!
Wow, okay, somebody really is in trouble. Alright. You gotta deal with this first. The wolf. Alright, behavior. Wolves have keen senses and usually travel in packs. When wolves detect prey, they will stalk it until they're close enough to pounce. We can use bait or poison darts to kill them. Place bait, perform an assassination, or approach the wolf through the trees and shoot it with a bow. Alright. Yeah, and we get pelts and fangs from them. Hold on, Terry, we're coming.
Help me! Please! Someone! Help! Someone! Help! Help me! Please! Someone! Help!
What this knobend is trying to say is he's forever in your debt, sir.
Who you calling? A knob end?
You, because you are one.
What were you doing on those logs?
One of the dangers of lumbering. We've got the camp set up a few rods off of here, as we're cutting timber. We're hoping to open a mill in the area.
There's a good place not far from the manor on the hill where I'm staying.
I like you already. We'll have a look.
Well, it seems we're actually starting a little community here. A lumber mill. And we needed the wood, right? Which we couldn't buy because that guy didn't have any. This place is full of trees, by the way. So, yeah.
I'll miss the peace and quiet, but we can certainly use the wood.
The manor needs a lot of work.
That and other things. Meet me at the small shack by the shoreline when you have time. There's something else you need to see.
What is it?
An asset.
Alright, so there's some new settlers that we can recruit there. And we can get stuff for trading and whatnot. And improve our little settlement here. That's pretty cool. Something new. Not just house or whatever. I guess in the villa, the Auditori Villa, we sort of did something like this, improving that area. Ma'am? She has a symbol on her, but we don't seem to be able to interact with her. Anyways. Yeah, that was something sort of like this. Not quite as in-depth, I think.
Hello. Right
Okay,
now.
so we can't talk to any of these people. That's just their icons, I guess. Alright, let's go meet up with Achilles. See what he has to show us. Once we get closer to the areas that Achilles is in, we hear some voices.
I found him. He thinks he's a myth, but I have him. Captain Kidd had a secret, to be sure. Just get me a ship and a crew, and we'll find out what it was he held so dear. I met him once, that captain. He was 7 feet tall if he was an inch. I tell you, legs like tree trunks and a smithy's arms. Almost broke my hand shaking it'll know. I did feel it then when I met him. No weapon made by man could harm him. Behold the Go away!
Said go away, boy! Do you not speak the king's English? Oh, I didn't see you there, old man. I'd have set my home in order if I'd known you'd be calling.
The boy's name is Connor. He's here to restore the property.
Restore? Restore? Pardon my manners. She's still the fastest in the Atlantic. Sure, she needs some attention. Minor things mostly, but with a little affection, she'll fly again.
Who is she?
Who is she? Why, the Aquila boy, the ghost of the North Seas.
The boat.
A boat? She's a ship, boy, and make no mistake about it. I thought you brought him here to restore order. I reckon he's the greenest thing on the frontier.
Connor, meet me back at the manor when you've finished here.
You said it requires repairs. You able?
She does need work. A ship is a she, boy. And yes, I can refit her, but I'm lacking in the proper supplies. Some quality timber would help me get started.
I can see to that. How long before she is able to sail again?
Just get me the lumber, boy. And I'll raise a crew.
Lucky for us, we just invested in a lumber mill. Robert Faulkner. Robert Faulkner, born 1715, is probably the most storied members of the Assassin's Navy. I want to say that it's supposed to say member of the Assassin's Navy. There's a lot of spelling and grammar errors on this. Now, I know some of it is because Sean's British or whatever, so that, you know, he does that, but other stuff is just wrong. It's like they typed way too fast or something and just didn't check. Though he was never formally named to a position above first mate, Robert Faulkner was the fourth generation of his family to be a seaman. I'm glad I didn't say that out loud. But the first in his family to be recruited to work for the Assassins. He started off in the Royal Navy, but finding his career stalled, partly due to his inability to purchase commissions, he left to work for the United Company of Merchants. In 1753, Faulkner disappeared from the historical records, presumed dead, but that's because he joined the Assassins as first mate of the flagship, the Aquila. Faulkner was much sought after as a mariner. Recruiting him was quite a coup for the Brotherhood. He had a reputation for having a disciplined crew and almost uncanny knack for avoiding trouble, not to mention predicting the weather, whether through the years of experience or some other more mysterious ability, because I totally believe in those. Faulkner would know when a storm or calm patch of sea is coming in, and could use it to his advantage. Imagine that. A natural weatherman who could accurately predict the weather. The world would never see his like again. Faulkner served on board the Aquila until it was nearly destroyed in 1768. Always deferring when asked to become the captain, he never gave his reason why. However, his love for the ship was quite touching. He had it towed to the location near Boston, despite doubts that it would ever be seaworthy again. Faulkner could have gone back to the sea aboard another ship, but didn't. He stayed close to the ever deteriorating Aquila and took to drinking, which is where Connor found him. Next we have the Aquila. Don't let the appearance fool you. You're looking at the former flagship of the Assassin Navy. If perhaps a little past its prime. The Aquila was built in France in 1749 in the city of Brest. Stop it. The design was incredibly innovative for its time. The ship was light, fast, and could carry a surprising amount of artillery for its size. It would be decades before there were schooners that could match the Aquila's speed. Of course, there were some disadvantages to the design, namely that the ship handling was very touchy and required an experienced crew. That meant the Aquila was underutilized until the Assassins hired someone who would be able to use the ship to its full potential. That would be Robert Faulkner. In 1754, the Aquila followed a Templar ship into a storm and was lost with all hands aboard. Or so we wanted the Templars to think. In reality, it sustained only minor damage, was refitted, and became the Assassin's secret weapon. Staying out of major harbors, using its speed and the element of surprise to harass ships on Templar business, the Aquila took on mythical qualities. It was whispered about in ports along the eastern seaboard as the Ghost of the North Seas, a pirate vessel crewed by ghosts and could appear and disappear into a sudden fog. This reputation was due to both Faulkner and Faulkner's uncommon skill and the superstitious nature of most sailors, who loved a ghost story and all wanted to marry a mermaid. Eventually, the Templars cottoned... okay, hold on. This is caught on to what had happened. Do you see what I mean about the spelling and stuff? Like, what did they use? Autocorrect? But it did take them more than a decade. They weren't the sharpest. There's a space in tools. Let's say in a box full of spoons. In 1768, the ship was caught in a trap by 3 British frigates. The Aquila was able to limp away from the battle, but ran aground in shallow water. The British left it for lost. Robert Falkner survived the battle and had the ship towed back to a private bay near Boston, where it and Falkner slowly deteriorated. That is, until Connor came into the picture. I say it that way because Connor didn't find him. Achilles brought us over here, as you know. Okay, yeah, but anyways, we're done here, so let's head on over back to Achilles and speak with him.
There you are. I've something to show you. Come, take a look.
What is it?
A ledger. It lets us manage the homestead's dealings.
And these?
That was years ago. Before the slow fever, before the Templars, before everything collapsed. But that's all in the past. Better we focus on what's in front of us. Take up the ledger, and I'll teach you how it all works.
Okay, yeah, I get that, focusing on the future, blah, blah, blah. We're supposed to learn from the past, and the Templars attacked us before, so maybe we should think about, I don't know, having some sort of system or defense in place for that kind of stuff. I'm not going to show you a lot of this because it's confusing to me until later. So we're going to kind of stay out of this for the most part.
Time passed quickly after that. My days a blur of study, training, and work. What little free time Achilles allowed me was spent learning about the Templars, about Charles Lee and my father. I longed to confront them, to put an end to their schemes, to ensure my people would remain untroubled and free. But I knew it was too soon, that to approach them now would see me killed. All my work would be for nothing. Patience, restraint. These proved the most difficult subjects for me. But in time, I mastered them as well. Days became months, months became years. And as my skills and knowledge grew, so too did I.
Yeah, it's nice seeing grass again. And the ship I saw, the Aquila, looks great and floating as it should. Let's go to our first objective here. Alright, so getting close. I see this guy up here. I can play games with him. Land convoy to Boston, 10 minutes. But of course, I'm not gonna just jump in, right? What up, man? We're gonna go up here and we're gonna explore this bad boy because it's awesome. Look at that. This is sick. Alright, let's start. The Hard Way, which was the quest that we just saw, sailed to Martha's Vineyard to equip the Aquila with cannons. I assume that, I don't know, maybe the plural of cannon is cannon. Maybe that's cannon.
Come aboard and feast your eyes, boy. No, not the left foot. Never the left foot. Horrible look. Step with your right foot first.
She is solid?
Aye. Weatherly and sleek. She'll fetch 12 knots in a stiff gale. Ne'er a ship from here to Singapore can outrun her on her best day. What do you say we take her out? Show you what she can do firsthand.
Where would we go?
As it happens, she still needs guns and the officers to command them. We'll launch straight away. Don't worry, lad. I'll make sure you sprout good sea legs. Haul in the mainsail! Get up the rigging! Hand over fist! Come on, men! Let's get her out where she needs to be!
From what I understand, the Aquila here is a test. Like, it didn't matter if it was in the game or not. It was a test for the next game. I love the next game.
Come on, lad. No time like the present. Take the helm.
Naval ships. You probably don't know much about 18th century naval warfare because you don't know much about anything at all. So here's a rundown of some types of vessels you are likely to encounter. Frigates. These are long, relatively light vessels with a lot of guns. More than 28. If you want to get technical about it. Frigates were light and easily maneuverable, so they were often used for reconnaissance or escorting merchant vessels. Frigate is also a terrific word to use if you want to swear, but your mother-in-law is nearby. Next, we have the gunboat. These were smaller vessels, I cannot speak, generally containing only one gun, but it was a really big gun. The gun in the boat is where the term gunboat gets the word gun from. It's not known why the word boat is there. Gunboats were relatively inexpensive to build and could be assembled quickly. They were most often used to bombard targets on land, although gunboats can easily be destroyed by a larger ship, such as a frigate. Several gunboats together could do some serious damage before a larger gunship could destroy them all. Strength in numbers and guns, of course. Mostly guns. Schooners are next. Schooners are small, light craft, noted for their speed. These were the preferred ships for privateers during the American Revolution. There was nothing better for breaking through enemy lines faster than you could get a shot at, or for making a fast getaway. Nowadays, of course, we have jet skis. The man-o-war. This isn't a naval classification, but more of a catch-all term for a warship carrying a lot of cannons. Most of the man-o-war you'll see will likely be ships of the line. which are essentially big ships with multiple gun decks stacked on one another. Basically, naval warfare consisted of lining up your ships broadside against the enemy ships, and in order to hit them with the most cannonballs possible. Of course, the enemy would be trying to do the same thing. Predictably, the biggest ships with the most guns usually won, leading to the building of more ships with even bigger guns. It wasn't sophisticated, but by God, it worked.
Double time, boy. It's time you learned.
But I was going to go into Toshi Station to pick up power converters.
Come on. She won't bite. You're connected to her now. Listen and feel. She's idle. If you call for half sail, the men will hop to it and she'll pick up.
Half sail!
Ha! The Aquila flies again! Do you feel it, lad? Set a course for Martha's Vineyard. We'll find our guns and officers there. She's a nimble vessel, but the faster she goes, the more cumbersome she grows. And the firmer your hand needs to be. Enjoy this stretch of open water before we come upon those shallows. Call for full sail if you like. Wind looks to be shifting. Stay alert, Connor. Gusty winds can be difficult to manage. Now, take us through these shallows. Careful not to run up on them. The sandbars will slow us down, but the rocks will put a hole through a hole. And if you want to make a quick tack, call for half sail. She's more maneuverable then.
Well, I'm already at half sail for that awful wind. So we'll just follow the traffic here.
Mind those other vessels! Hold your tack to keep your right of way!
I really like this naval stuff in the game. It's pretty cool so far. Pretty fun sailing. I imagine that this is extremely hard work in real life. There is a place, I think, that lets you do this stuff, and you can actually like learn all about how things were done, and then you can take like a small trip down the coast, even today, sailing like this. That would be pretty cool to do.
Cottages! We're close! Drop anchor. We'll go ashore, buy our guns, and find our officers. Oh, hello, Miss Mandy. You're looking every bit as ravishing as I remember.
After all these years, you sail all the way to the vineyard to pay me compliments?
We are looking for David and Richard Clutterbuck.
Nice to see you, too.
Robert Faulkner. Where the hell you been?
Sorry for leaving like I did, lads, but where I was going, no one could know. You two working much?
No. Between contracts at the moment.
Well, we're looking for gunnery officers. What would you two say to working with me again?
We'd be for getting into a few more scraps.
Good show. The Aquila is a fine vessel. We're fitting all the guns as we speak.
Looks like your friend's about to catch a beating.
Where is Charles Lee?
I don't much care for your tone, boy.
Hey, you don't want to be doing that, Biddle.
Bobby Faulkner turned to wet nursing. It's good you finally realize you're a shite sailor.
Whoa, 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 not in here, gentlemen. Better still, not at all. Bobby, take your friends and get out!
Let's go, boys. Our guns ought to be ready. Come on.
Beautiful. Just beautiful. This is a nice scene with the sun, and it's just perfect. I love ships. They're so cool. Why'd you have to go and start stuff, Connor? David and Richard Clutterbuck. Born 1733 and 35 respectively. These gentlemen were gunners in the merchant navy, starting in the mid-18th century. According to their reputation, these two aren't averse to a friendly fistfight over pretty much anything, so if you're talking to them, try not to mix up their names. David is the older brother, Richard the younger. Oh, and definitely don't try to be funny with their surname. The Clutterbucks were a Dutch family who moved to London when David and Richard were young. Their father was a dock worker, and so the two brothers grew up near and in the dockyards, running errands to pass the time and to earn extra cash. They showed an early aptitude, an affinity, if you will, for fighting. The two brothers joined a crew with Robert Faulkner on board the Stalwart in 1750, and working with him until he disappeared in 1753. Unlike many who go to sea in search of adventure and treasure, the Clutterbucks' motivation was somewhat different. Guns. They grew up hearing the stories of the sea, but it wasn't until they overheard a gunner talking about the power of his cannon that they decided a sailor's life was for them. The sailor was not, in fact, talking about an actual cannon, but the impressionable lads missed that. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm saying he was talking about another type of cannon, a different weapon altogether. I'm saying his cannon had power. I'm using speech marks to make it obvious. He had a powerful weapon. He wielded an enormous penis. Still don't get it? Oh well, moving on. The Clutterbucks spent years traveling on various merchant and privateer vessels, almost always hiring on as a pair. They eventually settled semi-permanently in Martha's Vineyard, taking it as a place to rest between contracts before they would get tired of all the quiet and hire on with another crew. I'll explain that joke again later. And next is Amanda Bailey. Born 1730, Amanda was a well-known and well-liked innkeeper in Martha's Vineyard around the time of the American Revolution. She was born in North Carolina in 1730, the oldest of a large family. Her mother died when she was 14, leaving young Amanda to work and help care for her younger brothers and sisters alone. Amanda first crossed paths with Robert Faulkner when she was a teenager. He was working for the United Company of Merchants. She was a barmaid, clearly a recipe for romance. They exchanged letters. I suppose it was the texting of the day, which stopped when Faulkner disappeared from Halifax to join the assassins. Sad face. Despite reports of Faulkner had fallen overboard and was dead, Amanda felt that he was still alive somewhere, and after several years she went in search of him, possibly so she could give him hell for abandoning her. But I'm speculating. She never found Faulkner and eventually settled in Martha's Vineyard, taking a job working for a local inn, which she later purchased. Amanda had a born talent for leadership and organization. She was responsible for setting up the first school in the area, not to mention advocating for improvements to the docks to bring in more business. Her inn was a hub for gossip during the Revolution, particularly if you wanted the latest in ship movements. It will probably come as no surprise to you that she was a spy for the Patriots, but that's only been publicly known since 1919, when a box of her personal correspondence was found, including some coded notes in Benjamin Talmadge's handwriting. Scrolling through, we actually do see some more things that we've missed. Nicholas Biddle, the man we confronted in the bar, was born in 1750. Nicholas Biddle was an ambitious young sailor who became one of the first captains of the Continental Navy. Biddle joined the Royal Navy in 1770. I mean the British side, but when the American Revolution started, he offered his services to the Continental Congress, so a traitor then. Though it's funny how you lot don't generally see it that way. Anyway, while he was only a midshipman for the British, Congress quickly gave him command of his own ship, the Franklin. In 1776, he was offered an even better deal, command of a brand new ship named the Randolph. Again, we're missing words, probably spelling mistakes in this one. History's mute on the reason behind Biddle's rise to prominence. However, I think it might be... I might be able to solve the mystery. We saw Church recruiting him when Connor stopped at Nantucket. Biddle eventually became a privateer for the Continental Congress, patrolling British shipping routes, harassing their ships, and keeping the spoils from any he could capture. He had a reputation as an excellent captain. He divided the spoils evenly, and never used corporal punishment against his crew. What a softy. Pitiful, really, though I think you can see why that would be a job perk.
What the bloody hell was that about?
The older man is a Templar. Who was he with?
Templar? The young buck was Nicholas Biddle. Nobody. Sails before the mast. Midshipman for the Crown.
Are the guns ready?
Aye, but we won't jump in over our heads. We'll find a suitable target and show you how they work. We've fitted her with a modest amount of guns to start, but rest assured there's ample room to add more should you feel the need.
I'm gonna feel the need. The need for guns. Is that a bad joke? Probably.
Looks like a British frigate with half seas over. Should do nicely for a spotted target practice. Bring around broadside, and when all guns are on target, call fire.
Alright, well it's already on broadside. So let's release.
Well done, boy. Now, aim all guns at her bow and do as much damage as possible.
We get destroyed this week.
Some old powder in there. Good. Now give the swivel guns a turn. More precise. Hit those old powder barrels and light up the sky.
Alright, hit him. Good shot. With a good crew, gents.
Not bad for a spot, Captain.
You are a fast learner.
Provided something interests me.
Ah, getting a taste for the open sea, are we? We'll make a jack tar out of you yet. Now we should be getting back. The old man is like to have my hide for keeping you out so long.
A couple of questions. Who had the money for all of this? Were cannons just cheap? They're giant pieces of steel? I would assume not. That was a misfire.
Why is he shooting at us?
Destroying property of the crown, disturbing the king's peace, take your pick.
What do we do?
Naught else but to fight back. Sink the bastard!
Use your swivels on him, Captain!
I guess that target practice is going to come into play sooner than we thought. They seem to be schooners. We'll just hopefully get rid of them. Looks like we can crouch down to avoid damage or something, I would think. Don't seem to have a damage meter. Oh, there it is. I think the damage meter is on the side there of the minimap. We've got cannons, we've got sails, we've got the swivel gun ammo. We seem to have a number of them, so they must be filled all the time, which would, I guess, be nice. What are the other ones? I think I saw something. I don't know. Sweet. Alright, let's go.
English frigate! I'll be betwattled, another one. Where in the bloody hell did she come from? Brace!
Yeah, I kind of agree. Where did it come from? Because we were super far away from it. Either way, let's hang out. I'd be in the middle of this like, boys, let's get a nice shanty. I'd be like, are you sure this is the time, sir? I'd be like, shanty. Looks like they're coming in to ram us. We gotta get out of here before they do. Okay, there we go. But now we're on their broadside, so it's probably not great. Oh, yep. Race. Okay, somehow they missed. Maybe they have bad gunmen. Oh, they're on us again. Well, like Sean said, they're going to try and do the same. Just not... Probably going to try and ram. Cool. Alright, we're all done with those guys. That's pretty sweet.
Carry on, sailor. Not bad for your first voyage, eh, boy?
Now we best be getting back, or the old man will have my guts for garters.
I wonder how much we can customize this. Anyways, guys, we're all going to be all done for today. I'd like to thank anybody for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, dislike, comment. Smash that bell icon, you know, what have you. And we'll start right back where we left off here. Again, thanks for watching, and goodbye.